Duncan's Masonic Ritual and Monitor, by Malcolm C. Duncan. Preface. The objectives which Freemasonry was founded to subserve are honorable and laudable, nor is it the intent of the following pages to disparage the institution or to undervalue its utility. It has, in various eras and diverse nations, incurred the animosity of political factions and religious bodies, consequent to a conviction on their part that the organization was not as purely benevolent and philanthropic as its members professed. In the state of New York, many years past, it was alleged, though we opine unjustly, to wield potent political sway and to utilize it unscrupulously for sinister ends. The conflict between Masonry and anti-Masonry, which convulsed the state during that epoch, remains vivid in the memory of many a veteran partisan. The order, however, has long since recovered from the opprobrium then cast upon it and currently exists in a flourishing condition throughout the majority of the civilized world. The purpose of this volume is less to satisfy the inquisitiveness of the uninitiated than to provide a guide for the neophytes of the order, by means of which their advancement from grade to grade may be expedited. Every assertion within this book is authentic, as every proficient Mason will privately admit, even if not publicly, as he peruses its pages. The non-Masonic reader, upon examining them, may find himself perplexed to conceive why matters of such trivial genuine import to society at large should have been so diligently concealed for centuries, and still more astonished that society should have demonstrated such extreme inquisitiveness regarding them. Yet, as old Stapleton observes in Jacob Faithful, such is the nature of humanity. The objective of the order enshrouding its proceedings in profound mystery is sufficiently evident. Seabirds are not more invariably drawn toward a luminous beacon on a starless night than are men to whatever possesses the savor of mystery. Curiosity has exerted a far greater influence in augmenting the ranks of Masonry than have philanthropy and fraternal affection. The institution, however, is now sufficiently established to rely upon its own merits, without the assistance of artifice, thus discarding the mantle that shadowed Borgia. It will be noted by the initiated that the subsequent exposition provides no intelligence through which any individual who is not a Mason might secure entry into a lodge. It is owed to the order that its convocations be not disturbed by the intrusion of persons who contribute neither to its sustenance nor to the advancement of its humane design, and whose motives in seeking entrance to its halls would be impertinent and ungentlemanly. The clue to the sanctum sanctorum is, therefore, deliberately withheld. In its spirit and intent, Masonry is certainly not a deception, and in this enlightened age, so excellent an institution should not incur the risk of being categorized with the contrivances of charlatanry by affecting to wear a mystic veil which has long since been lifted. Of this veil, we are at liberty to state that, unlike that of the false prophet of Chorasan, it conceals no repulsive features behind it. The author of the following work does not apprehend that it contains a single line capable of injuring the Masonic cause in any manner. Conversely, he believes that it will prove a valuable vade-mecum to members of the order, for whose usage and guidance it is expressly designed. It will be perceived that the work cited in this treatise differs from that of Morgan, Richardson, and Allen. However, as this discrepancy is fully elucidated at the conclusion of the observations on the third degree, it is not deemed necessary to make further allusion to it at this juncture. The authorities referred to in this work are as follows. The Historical Landmarks, by the Reverend George Oliver, Doctor of Divinity, in 2 volumes. London, R. Spencer, 1845. The Theocratic Philosophy of Freemasonry, by the same author and publisher, 1840, Origin of the English Royal Arch. By the same, etc., etc., etc. A Lexicon of Freemasonry. By Albert G. Mackey, Doctor of Medicine. Charleston, Burgess and James. 1845. The Freemasons' Treasury. By the Reverend George Oliver, Doctor of Divinity, London, R. Spencer. 1863. The Insignia of the Royal Arch. By the same author. London, R. Spencer. 1847. Exposition of the Mysteries. An Inquiry into the Origin, History, and Purport of Freemasonry. By John Fellows, Master of Arts. New York, 1835. Book of the Chapter. By Albert G. Mackey, Doctor of Medicine. New York, McCoy and Sickles. 1864. Allen's Ritual. New York, John Gowan. Webb's Monitor. New York, McCoy and Sickles. Tent Life in the Holy Land. By Reverend Irenaeus Prime, Doctor of Divinity, New York, Harper and Brothers Monitor of Freemasonry. By Jabez Richardson. Philadelphia, Pa. Chapter 1. Entered Apprentice Ritual and Lodge Governance. 7 Freemasons, comprising 6 entered apprentices and 1 Master Mason, acting under a charter or dispensation from a Grand Lodge, constitute the requisite number to establish a Lodge of Masons and to initiate a candidate into the first degree of Masonry. They assemble in a chamber securely guarded against all cowens and eavesdroppers, situated upon the 2nd or 3rd story of a specifically prepared edifice furnished for lodge purposes, which is designated by Masons as the ground floor of King Solomon's Temple. The officers assume their stations, as depicted in the plate on page 8. Lodge meetings are scheduled as follows. A regular meeting is convened but once a month. Special meetings are held as frequently as the exigency of the circumstances may appear to require, even if occurring every night of the week, Sunday excepted. Should Tuesday be designated as Lodge Night, it would be termed by Masons as Tuesday evening on or before the full of the moon, a regular night. Lodge of Entered Apprentices, Fellow Crafts, or Master Masons. 1. Candidate Praise. 2. First Stop. 3. Second Stop. 4. Third Stop. 5. Room where candidates are prepared. 6. Anteroom where members enter the lodge. 7. Hall. 8. Doors. 9. Door through which candidates are admitted into the lodge. 10. Door through which members enter. 11. Altar. 12. Treasurer. 13. Secretary. 14. Senior Deacon. 15. Worshipful Master. 16. Junior Warden. 17 and 18. Stewards. 19. Senior Warden. 20. Junior Deacon. 21. Tyler. All business pertaining to Masonry is transacted at a regular meeting and within the 3rd or Master Mason degree. None but Master Masons are permitted to be present at such convocations. Balloting for candidates is generally conducted during a regular meeting, as is the reception of petitions, committee reports, and similar matters. A petition for the degrees of Masonry is customarily received during a regular meeting. At the time a petition for the degrees of Masonry is received, the Master appoints a committee of 3, whose duty it is to inquire into the character of the applicant and to report, favorably or unfavorably as the case may be, at the subsequent regular meeting, whereupon it is acted upon by the lodge. Upon reception of the committee's report, a ballot is taken, Should no black balls appear, the candidate is declared duly elected. However, should one or more black balls appear, he is declared rejected. No business is conducted in a lodge of entered apprentices, save to initiate a candidate into the first degree of Masonry. Nor is any business transacted in a fellow crafts lodge, save to pass a fellow craft from the first to the second degree. To elucidate more thoroughly, when a candidate is initiated into the first degree, he is styled as entered. When he has taken the second degree, passed, and when he has taken the third, raised to the sublime degree of a Master Mason. No individual is permitted to be present in any degree of Masonry unless he possesses that same degree or a higher one. The Master always wears his hat while presiding in such capacity, whereas no other officer does so within a Blue Lodge. A lodge of fellow craft masons consists of 5 officers: the Worshipful Master, Senior and Junior Wardens, and Senior and Junior Deacons. Nevertheless, 7 members, in addition to the Tyler, generally assist and assume their seats as in the entered apprentice's degree. The fellow craft lodge is designated by Masons as the middle chamber of King Solomon's Temple. 3 Master Masons constitute the requisite number to establish a Master's Lodge, which Masons term the Sanctum Sanctorum, or Holy of Holies, of King Solomon's Temple. Although Masonic law mandates only 3 members to convene a lodge of the 3rd degree, 7 members, exclusive of the Tyler, generally assist, as is customary in the other degrees. All lodges assemble in a single room, furnished identically, for the conferring of the different degrees. However, the craft Masonically designates these spaces as the ground floor, middle chamber, and Sanctum Sanctorum. An individual present within the room while it is open on the 1st degree would discern no difference in its appearance from that of a Master Mason's lodge. It is the incumbent duty of the Tyler to inform all brethren, particularly those arriving tardily, upon which degree the lodge is laboring, ensuring that none are liable to present the incorrect sign to the Worshipful Master upon entry. If the lodge were opened on the 1st degree, there might be present those who had received only 1 degree. Should a brother arriving late be ignorant of this fact and display a 3rd degree sign, they would witness it. Consequently, the Tyler must always issue a caution regarding this point to such brethren before they enter the lodge. Customary procedure. Brethren who arrive late proceed to the anteroom, which they find occupied by the Tyler, sword in hand. After inquiring of the Tyler regarding the degree upon which the lodge is at work, they clothe themselves with aprons and request admission. The Tyler steps to the door and delivers 1 rap if opened on the 1st degree, 2 raps if on the 2nd degree, and 3 raps if on the 3rd degree. Upon hearing this, the junior deacon, stationed within, reports the alarm to the Master as follows. Junior Deacon: Worshipful Master, there is an alarm at the inner door of our lodge. Worshipful Master: attend to the alarm, Brother Junior, and ascertain the cause. The junior deacon opens the door and inquires of the Tyler regarding the cause of the alarm, whereupon the Tyler reports the names of the brethren. Junior Deacon: Brothers Jones, Brown, and Smith are without and desire admission. If they are known to the Master, he will command, admit them. The deacon opens the door and says, in an undertone, come in. These brothers advance to the center of the lodge. At the altar, they perform the dugard and sign of the degree upon which the lodge is opened, which is acknowledged by the Master, after which they take their seats among the brethren. No brother is permitted to take his seat until he has saluted the Worshipful Master upon entering a lodge. Should one omit his duty in this respect, he is immediately reminded of it by either the Master or one of the brethren present. The Tyler generally cautions the brethren regarding the sign before passing them through the door. The junior deacon does likewise as soon as they have entered. This officer's station is at the inner door, and it is his duty to attend to all alarms from the exterior, to report the same to the master, and to obtain his permission before admitting anyone. The author recollects witnessing the dugard and sign of a master mason being presented while he was yet an entered apprentice mason. He was seated one evening in the lodge when a brother of the third degree entered and very carelessly saluted the master with the master's dugard and sign, undoubtedly presuming the lodge to be open on that degree, a highly common error among masons. In large cities, there often exists more than one lodge. Some cities possess 10 or 20 and even more. In the cities of New York and Brooklyn, there are 135 lodges, in addition to chapters, councils, commanderies, etc., etc. Consequently, lodge meetings of some description occur every night of the week, excepting Sunday, and naturally, a great deal of visitation takes place between the different lodges. The visitors are not all personally known to the masters. However, the brethren are generally acquainted with one another, and thus must often be vouched for in some of the lodges or undergo an examination. To provide the reader with an idea of the manner in which they are admitted, the author shall posit a case for illustration. Jones, Smith, and Brown, belonging to Amity Lodge No. 323, in Broadway, New York, desire to visit Hiram Lodge No. 449 of 25th Street, and for that purpose proceed on lodge night to the hall of Hiram Lodge, No. 449, and request admission of the Tyler. The Tyler, perhaps, will inquire, "Brothers, are you acquainted with our master, or any of the brethren in the lodge?" Smith, Jones, and Brown will perhaps respond, "Yes," or "We cannot say, but pass our names in, and if there are any acquainted with us, they will vouch for our Masonic standing." The Tyler complies in the manner already described, and if they are vouched for by either the master or any brother, they are admitted, the Tyler informing them upon what degree the lodge is opened, in addition to furnishing them with aprons. On the evening of a lodge meeting, brethren generally assemble at an early hour at the lodge room, which has been opened and prepared by the Tyler. Upon the arrival of the master and the hour of meeting, the master repairs to his seat in the east, assumes his hat, sash, yoke, and apron with gavel in hand, and announces, "Brethren will be properly clothed and in order." Officers repair to their stations for the purpose of opening. At this announcement, the brethren don their aprons and seat themselves around the lodge room, while the officers invest themselves with their yokes and aprons and assume their stations as represented in the plate on page 8. Senior warden in the west, junior warden in the south, senior deacon in front of the worshipful master in the east, and slightly to his right hand, bearing a long rod, junior deacon at the right hand of the senior warden in the west, guarding the inner door of the lodge, with rod in hand, secretary at the left of the worshipful master and treasurer at the right, and generally 2 stewards on the right and left of the junior warden in the south, bearing rods. After all are thus seated, the worshipful master inquires, "Is the Tyler present? If so, let him approach the east." At this command, the Tyler, who has remained near the outer door of the lodge during this time, approaches the worshipful master's seat in the east, wearing his yoke and apron. Worshipful master: "Brother Tyler, your place in the lodge?" Tyler: "Without the inner door." Worshipful master: "Your duty there?" Tyler: "To keep off all cowens and eavesdroppers, and not to pass or repass any but such as are duly qualified and possess the worshipful master's permission." Worshipful master: "You will receive the implement of your office." Repair to your post and be in the active discharge of your duty. The tiler retires to the interior of the outer door of the anteroom, and all lodge doors are closed behind him. Worshipful Master, Brother Junior Deacon, the first and constant care of Masons when convened. Junior Deacon, to see that the lodge is duly tiled. Worshipful Master, you will attend to that part of your duty, and inform the tiler that we are about to open a lodge of entered apprentice Masons, and direct him to tile accordingly. The deacon opens the door and says to the tiler, Brother Tiler, it is the order of the Worshipful Master that you tile this lodge as an entered apprentice. He then closes the door and gives one rap, which is responded to by the tiler. Junior Deacon, Worshipful Master, the lodge is tiled. Worshipful Master, how tiled? Junior Deacon, by a brother of this degree without the inner door, invested with the proper implement of his office. Worshipful Master, his duty there? Junior Deacon, to keep off all cowens and eavesdroppers. Suffer none to pass or repass, except such as are duly qualified, and possess the Worshipful Master's permission. Worshipful Master, Brother Senior Warden, are you assured that all present are entered apprentice Masons? Senior Warden, I am assured, Worshipful Master, that all present are entered apprentice Masons. Worshipful Master, are you an entered apprentice Mason? Senior Warden, I am so taken and accepted among all brethren and fellows. Worshipful Master, where were you first prepared to be made an entered apprentice Mason? Senior Warden, in my heart. Worshipful Master, where secondly? Senior Warden, in a room adjacent to a legally constituted lodge of such, duly assembled in a place representing the ground floor of King Solomon's temple. Worshipful Master, what makes you an entered apprentice Mason? Senior Warden, my obligation. W. M. How many constitute a lodge of entered apprentice Masons? Senior Warden, 7 or more, consisting of the Worshipful Master, Senior and Junior Wardens, Senior and Junior Deacons, Secretary, and Treasurer. Worshipful Master, where is the Junior Deacon's place? Senior Warden, at the right hand of the Senior Warden in the west. Worshipful Master, what is your duty there, Brother Junior Deacon? Junior Deacon, to carry orders from the Senior Warden in the west to the Junior Warden in the south, and elsewhere around the lodge as he may direct, and to see that the lodge is tiled. Worshipful Master, where is the Senior Deacon's place in the lodge? Junior Deacon, at the right hand of the Worshipful Master in the east. Worshipful Master, what is your duty there, Brother Senior? Senior Deacon, to carry orders from the Worshipful Master in the east to the Senior Warden in the west, and elsewhere around the lodge as he may direct, to introduce and clothe all visiting brethren, and to receive and conduct candidates. Worshipful Master, where is the Secretary's place in the lodge? Senior Deacon, at the left hand of the Worshipful Master in the east. Worshipful Master, what is your duty, Brother Secretary? Secretary, to observe the Worshipful Master's will and pleasure, record the proceedings of the lodge, transmit a copy of the same to the Grand Lodge, if required, receive all monies paid into the lodge by the hands of the brethren, pass the same over to the treasurer, and take his receipt therefor. Worshipful Master, where is the treasurer's place in the lodge? Secretary, at the right hand of the Worshipful Master in the east. Worshipful Master, what is your duty there, Brother Treasurer? Treasurer, To receive all monies paid into the lodge from the hands of the secretary, keep a regular and just account of the same, and pay it out by the order of the worshipful master and the consent of the lodge. Worshipful Master. Where is the junior warden's station in the lodge? Treasurer. In the south, worshipful. Worshipful Master. What is your duty there, Brother Junior Warden? Junior Warden. As the sun in the south at high meridian is the beauty and glory of the day, so stands the junior warden in the south, the better to observe the time, call the craft from labor to refreshment, superintend them during the hours thereof, and see that the means of refreshment be not converted into intemperance or excess, and to call them on to labor again, that they may have pleasure and profit thereby. Worshipful Master. Where is the senior warden's station in the lodge? Junior Warden. In the west, worshipful. Worshipful Master. Why in the west, Brother Senior, and what is your duty there? Senior Warden. To assist the worshipful Master in opening and closing his lodge, pay the craft their wages, if any be due, and see that none go away dissatisfied, if it be in my power to prevent, harmony being the strength of all institutions, more especially of this of ours. Worshipful Master. Where is the worshipful Master's station in the lodge? Senior Warden. In the east, worshipful. Worshipful Master. Why in the east, and what is his duty there? Senior Warden. As the sun rises in the east to open and govern the day, so rises the worshipful Master in the east, to open and govern his lodge, set the craft to work, and give them proper instructions. Worshipful Master. Brother Senior Warden, it is my order that this lodge be opened on the first degree of Masonry, for the dispatch of business, during which time all private committees and other improper unmasonic conduct, tending to destroy the peace of the same while engaged in the lawful pursuits of Masonry, are strictly forbidden, under no less penalty than a majority of the brethren present, acting under the bylaws of this lodge, may see fit to inflict. This you will communicate to the junior warden in the south, and he to the brethren around the lodge, that they, having due and timely notice, may govern themselves accordingly. Senior Warden. Brother Junior Warden, you have heard the orders of the worshipful Master, as communicated to me from the worshipful Master in the East. You will take notice and govern yourself accordingly. Junior Warden. Brethren, you have heard the orders of the worshipful Master, as communicated to me through the Senior Warden in the West. You will please take notice and govern yourselves accordingly. Worshipful Master. Brethren, together on the signs. The signs of the 3 degrees are given if opening on the 3rd degree. But if only on the 1st degree entered apprentice, the Master would say, together on the sign and not signs. The Master always leads off in giving the sign or signs. The Master first makes the dugard of the 1st degree, representing the position of the hands when taking the oath of an entered apprentice Mason, which is called the dugard of an entered apprentice, my left hand supporting the Bible, and my right hand resting thereon. After which the Master makes the sign of an entered apprentice Mason, which alludes to the penalty of the entered apprentice's obligation, which is imitated by all the brethren present. The Master then makes the dugard of a fellow craft, which alludes to the position of the hands when taking the oath of a fellow craft Mason. After which he gives the sign of a fellow craft, which alludes to the penalty of the fellow craft obligation. Next is the dugard of a Master Mason, which alludes to the position of the hands when taking the oath of a Master Mason, both hands resting on the Holy Bible, square, and compasses. And then the sign of a Master Mason, which alludes to the penalty of the obligation of a Master Mason. The last sign given is the grand hailing sign of distress. The words accompanying this sign in the night or dark, when the sign cannot be seen, are, O Lord my God, is there no help for the widow's son? This sign is given by the Master at the grave of our Grand Master Hiram Abiff. The Master gives one rap with his gavel. Senior Warden 1, Junior Warden 1. The Master strikes once the second time, which is responded to by the wardens a second time in the west and south, when the Master makes the third gavel sound, which is responded to by the wardens. These 3 raps are made when opening the lodge on the 3rd degree. If opening on the 2nd, 2 raps only are used. 1st degree, 1 rap each, first given by the Master, then Senior Warden, lastly Junior Warden. After which the Master takes off his hat and repeats the following passage of Scripture. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head, that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garments, as the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. Amen. Responded to by all the brethren present. Amen. So mote it be. Worshipful Master, I now declare this lodge opened on the 1st degree of Masonry. Brother Junior Deacon, you will inform the Tyler. Worshipful Master, Brother Senior Deacon, you will attend at the altar. Worshipful Master, all being seated, we are ready to proceed with business. Should the lodge be opened on the 3rd degree during a regular meeting, the following would constitute the order of business. However, as the reader may possess a degree of anxiety, as well as curiosity, regarding the method and manner of elevating the lodge from the 1st to the 3rd degree, the author shall premise that the lodge is currently open on the 1st degree. Furthermore, as it is a regular lodge night with business to transact, the lodge must be raised to the 3rd or master's degree, for no business other than initiation may be conducted in the 1st degree. The following method is that which is generally adopted among Masons at the present day, although there exist 2 or 3 variations. Worshipful Master, Brother Senior Warden, are you certain that all present are Master Masons? Senior Warden, I am not certain that all present are Master Masons, worshipful, but I shall ascertain the fact through my proper officers and report. Senior Warden, the deacons shall approach the west. First, the Senior Deacon whispers the password of a Master Mason into the ear of the Junior Deacon, and the Senior Deacon whispers the same into the ear of the Senior Warden. Thereafter, one deacon proceeds up one side of the lodge, and the other up the opposite side. As they advance, they halt at each brother present to receive the password, which every brother, rising, whispers into the ear of the deacon. Should there be any present who cannot provide it, the deacons pass them by, particularly if they are members of a lower degree. After the deacons have traversed the entire lodge, they meet before the worshipful Master in the east. The Senior Deacon receives the password once more from the Junior Deacon and transmits it to the Master. They then return to the Senior Warden in the west, communicate the same to him in like manner, and resume their seats as is customary. The Warden then rises and speaks. Senior Warden, not all present are Master Masons, worshipful. Worshipful Master, all those beneath the degree of Master Mason are requested to retire while we raise the lodge. The Junior Deacon addresses those beneath the rank of Master Mason, saying, Brothers, please retire, and ensures that they comply. Once they have departed and the door is closed by the Junior Deacon, The Senior Warden speaks. Senior Warden, all present are Master Masons, worshipful. He then executes the sign of a Master Mason. Worshipful Master, if you are satisfied that all present are Master Masons, you will require them to come to order as such, reserving yourself for the last. Senior Warden, brethren, you will come to order as Master Masons. The brethren all place their hands in the form of the dugard of a Master Mason. Senior Warden, in order, worshipful. Worshipful Master, together on the sign, brethren. The Master makes the sign of a Master Mason, which is emulated by the officers and brethren, and finally by the Senior Warden. The Master gives one rap, the Senior Warden one, the Junior Warden one, and then the Master again gives one rap, followed by the Wardens until they have rapped 3 times each. Worshipful Master, I now declare this lodge duly open on the 3rd degree of Masonry. Brother Junior Deacon, inform the Tyler. Brother Senior Deacon, attend to the altar. Order of business as follows. Worshipful Master, Brother Secretary, you will please read the minutes of our last regular communication. The Secretary reads as follows. Masonic Hall, New York, December 8th, Anno Lucas 5860. A regular communication of St. John's Lodge, number 222, of Free and Accepted Masons, was holden at New York on Wednesday, the 10th of November, A.L. 5860. Present members, Brother A. B. Worshipful Master, Brother Luke Cousins, Brother B. C. Senior Warden, Brother John Hart, Brother C. D. Junior Warden, Brother Peter Lewis, Brother D. E. Treasurer, Brother George Fox, Brother E. F. Secretary, Brother Robert Onion, Brother F. G. Senior Deacon, Brother Frank Lucky, Brother G. H. Junior Deacon, Brother Samuel Slick, Brother H. I. Steward, Brother Solomon Wise, Brother I. J. Steward, Brother Henry Wisdom, Brother K. L. Tyler, Brother Truman Swift, Visiting Brothers, Brother James B. Young of Union Lodge, number 16, Broadway, New York, Brother George J. Jones of Rochester Lodge, number 28, Rochester, New York, Brother Benjamin Scribble of Hiram Lodge, number 37, New Orleans, Louisiana, Brother Stephen Swift of Cleveland Lodge, number 99, Cleveland, Ohio, Brother Robert Morris of Lexington Lodge, number 7, Lexington, Kentucky. The lodge was opened in due form on the 3rd degree of Masonry. The minutes of the last communication of St. John's Lodge were read and confirmed. The committee on the petition of John B. Crockerberry, a candidate for initiation, reported favorably, whereupon he was balloted for and duly elected. The committee on the application of D.C. Wool Everett, a candidate for initiation, reported favorably, whereupon he was balloted for, and the box appearing foul, he was declared rejected. The committee on the application of William S. Anderson, a candidate for initiation, having reported unfavorably, he was declared rejected without a ballot. A petition for initiation from Robert Chase of Jersey City, accompanied by the usual fee of $10, and recommended by Brothers Hart, Lewis, and Onion, was referred to a committee of investigation consisting of Brothers Slick, wise, and swift. Brother Samuel Brevoort, an entered apprentice, having applied for advancement, was duly elected to the 2nd degree, and Brother Thomas Jansen, a fellow craft, was, upon his application for advancement, duly elected to the 3rd degree in Masonry. The Lodge of Master Masons was then closed, and a Lodge of Entered Apprentices opened in due form. Mr. Charles Frond, a candidate for initiation, being in waiting, was duly prepared, brought forward, and initiated as an Entered Apprentice Mason in due and ancient form, upon paying the further sum of $5. The Lodge of Entered Apprentices was closed, and a Lodge of Fellow Crafts opened in due form. Brother Stephen Curry, an Entered Apprentice, being in waiting, was duly prepared, brought forward, and passed to the degree of a Fellow Craft, upon paying the further sum of $5. The Lodge of Fellow Crafts was closed, and a Lodge of Master Masons opened in due form. Brother John Smith, a Fellow Craft, being in waiting, was duly prepared, brought forward, and raised to the sublime degree of a Master Mason, upon paying the further sum of $5. The amounts received this evening are as follows. Petition of Robert Chase, $10. Fellow Craft Charles Frond, $5. Fellow Craft Stephen Curry, $5. Master Mason John Smith, $5. Total, $25, all of which was paid over to the treasurer. There being no further business, the lodge was closed in due form and harmony. Samuel Slick, Secretary. Approved, Solomon Northus, Worshipful Master. The foregoing represents the form adopted as the most expedient method of recording the transactions of a lodge at the present day. The minutes of a lodge should be read at the close of each meeting so that the brethren may suggest any necessary alterations or additions, and again at the beginning of the next regular meeting, that they may be confirmed. Worshipful Master, Brother Senior Warden, do you have any alterations to propose? Senior Warden, I have none, Worshipful. Worshipful Master, do you have any? Brother Junior Warden? Junior Warden, none, Worshipful. Worshipful Master, does any brother within the lodge desire to propose any alterations? Worshipful Master, then, brethren, the motion concerns the confirmation of the minutes of our last communication. All who are in favor of their confirmation will make it known by the usual sign of a Mason. Those opposed, by the same sign, which is called the usual sign of a Mason. The question of confirmation is simply a matter of whether the Secretary has faithfully and accurately recorded the transactions of the lodge. If it can be satisfactorily demonstrated by any brother that there are omissions or erroneous entries, this is the appropriate moment to correct them. Second order of business. Worshipful Master, if the Secretary possesses any petitions upon his desk, he shall report them to the lodge as follows. Worshipful Master, there are 2 petitions for membership presented as follows. Form of petition. To the Worshipful Master, Wardens, and Brethren of St. John's Lodge, number 222, of Free and Accepted Masons. The petition of the undersigned respectfully showeth that, entertaining a favorable opinion of your ancient institution, he is desirous of being admitted a member thereof, providing he be found worthy. His place of residence is New York City. His age, 38 years, and his occupation that of a bookseller. Abner Cruff. Recommended by Brothers Jones, Carson, and Fox. New York, December 1st, 1860. Secretary. The subsequent petition is submitted by Peter Locke, recommended by Brothers Derby and Jackson. Both petitions are accompanied by the customary fee of $10 each. Worshipful Master, Brethren, what is your pleasure regarding these petitions of Cruff and Locke? Brother Hand, I move that they be received and that a committee of investigation be appointed. Brother Fast, I second that motion, worshipful. Worshipful Master, brethren, you have heard the motion. All those in favor thereof signify by the usual sign. All opposed, the same. Worshipful Master, the petitions are received. I hereby appoint, regarding the application of Mr. Cruff, Brothers Brevoort, Gore, and Ackerman, and regarding the petition of Mr. Locke, Brothers Derby, Hart, and Barnes. Third order of business. Worshipful Master, Brother Secretary, are there any committee reports currently due upon your desk? Secretary, there are 2 reports, worshipful. One regarding the application of Mr. Robert Granger, and one regarding the application of Mr. Brady. Worshipful Master, are the chairmen of those committees present? Brother Pepper, worshipful, as chairman of the committee to which the application of Mr. Robert Granger was referred, I wish to state to the Lodge that I have examined his character and found it exemplary. Consequently, I report favorably thereon. I believe he will become a commendable Mason. Although somewhat unbridled in his youth, he is now considered remarkably steady and a worthy member of society. Worshipful Master, is the chairman of the committee to which the application of Peter Locke was referred present? Brother Melville, worshipful, I serve as chairman of that committee and report favorably. He is recommended as a man of the highest caliber. Worshipful Master, brethren, what is your pleasure regarding the petition of Mr. Locke? Brother Jones, I move, worshipful, that the report be received, the committee discharged, and the candidates submitted to the ballot. Brother Jackson, I second that motion. Worshipful Master, brethren, you have heard the motion. All in favor thereof signify by the usual sign. The contrary, the same. Fourth order of business. Worshipful Master, Brother Secretary, are there any candidates to be balloted for? Secretary, there are, worshipful, 2 Joseph Locker and Reuben Bruce. Worshipful Master, brethren, we are about to ballot for 2 applicants for the 1st degree in Masonry. The first concerns the petition of Mr. Joseph Locker. Any remarks regarding this gentleman, favorable or otherwise, are now in order. If nothing is offered, the Master states, Worshipful Master, if there is nothing to offer, we shall proceed to ballot. Brother Senior Deacon, you will prepare the ballot box. The Senior Deacon retrieves the ballot box, places it upon the altar in the center of the lodge, and resumes his seat. Worshipful Master, brethren, you will proceed to ballot. The balloting is conducted as follows. The Master votes first. The Secretary calls the roll, commencing with the Senior Warden and concluding with the Tyler. As their names are called, each Mason approaches the box at the altar, offers the sign of a Master Mason to the Master, retrieves a ball from the lower drawer of the ballot box, deposits it into the upper hopper, and retires to his seat. Thus all cast their votes. Worshipful Master, have all voted? If so, Brother Senior Deacon, you will close the ballot. The Senior Deacon closes the drawer and conveys the box to the Junior Warden in the south. He pulls out the top drawer, inspects it to ascertain if it is clear, then closes it and hands it to the Deacon, who conveys it to the Senior Warden in the west for his examination. As the Deacon departs the Junior Warden's station, the Master addresses him, Worshipful Master, Brother Junior Warden, how stands the ballot in the south? Junior Warden, Clear in the south, worshipful. By this time, the senior warden has completed his examination, and the master inquires of him, Worshipful master, brother senior warden, how stands the ballot in the west? Senior warden. Clear in the west, worshipful. By this time, the deacon has arrived at the worshipful master's station in the east. He inspects the box and states, Worshipful master, and clear in the east. Brethren, you have elected Mr. Joseph Locker to the first degree in Masonry. The other candidate is balloted for in the same manner. Fifth order of business. Worshipful master. Brother Junior Deacon, you will ascertain whether there are any candidates in waiting, and for what degree, and report immediately. The Junior Deacon inquires of the Tyler and brethren generally and reports. Some member will name a candidate previously balloted for, who is likely waiting in the anteroom. Junior Deacon. There are 1 or 2 now in waiting for the first degree. Mr. Peter Gabe and Mr. John Milk. Worshipful master. Brethren, there appears to be a substantial amount of business on hand this evening. However, my professional engagements render it impossible for me to remain until a late hour. Consequently, we shall confer the degree upon Mr. Gabe only and will convene a special communication next week to attend to Mr. Milk's requirements. Brother Junior Deacon, you will inform Mr. Milk of our decision, that he need not wait longer. You will also inform Mr. Gabe that, as soon as we conclude the regular business of the lodge, the first degree shall be conferred upon him. The Junior Deacon performs his duty. Sixth order of business. Worshipful master. No unfinished business. Seventh order of business. Worshipful master. Brethren, if there be no further business before this lodge of Master Masons, we shall proceed to close the same and open an entered apprentice's lodge for the purpose of initiation. Here, lodges differ regarding the mode of lowering from a master's to an entered apprentice's lodge. Some close entirely and open on the first. However, we shall adopt a concise method employed by lodges at the present day. Worshipful master. Brother senior warden, are you certain all present are entered apprentice Masons? Senior warden. I am certain, worshipful. All present are entered apprentice Masons. Worshipful master. If you are certain all present are entered apprentice Masons, you will instruct them to come to order as such, reserving yourself for the last. Senior warden. Brethren, you will come to order as entered apprentice Masons. The members place their hands in the position of the dugard of an entered apprentice. When the master executes the sign by drawing his hand across his throat, all follow suit. The worshipful master then sounds 1 rap with the gavel, the senior warden 1, and the junior warden 1. Worshipful master. I now declare this lodge of Master Masons closed, and an entered apprentice lodge opened in its stead. Brother Junior Deacon, inform the Tyler. Brother Senior Deacon, attend at the altar. Brother Junior Deacon, you will take with you the necessary assistance, repair to the anteroom where a candidate is in waiting, and, when he is duly prepared, you will make it known by the usual sign. The Junior Deacon and his assistants withdraw to the anteroom. However, prior to their departure from the lodge, they approach the altar and execute the sign of the first degree before the master. It is incumbent upon the secretary to accompany them into the anteroom, and before the candidate is requested to disrobe, the secretary secures his assent to the following interrogatories. Do you solemnly declare, upon your honor, that, unbiased by friends and uninfluenced by mercenary motives, you freely and voluntarily offer yourself as a candidate for the mysteries of Masonry? Yes. Do you solemnly declare, upon your honor, that you are prompted to solicit the privileges of Masonry by a favorable opinion of the institution, a desire for knowledge, and a sincere wish to be serviceable to your fellow creatures? Yes. Do you solemnly declare, upon your honor, that you will conform to all the ancient established usages of the order? Yes. The secretary returns to the lodge and reports that the candidate has acceded to the interrogatories. The candidate is now requested to divest himself of his clothing. Junior Deacon: Mr. Gabe, you will remove your coat, shoes, and stockings, as well as your vest and cravat. Now remove your trousers. Here is a pair of drawers for your use. You will now withdraw your left arm from your shirt sleeve and place it through the bosom of your shirt, so that your arm and breast may be exposed. The deacon then secures a handkerchief or hoodwink over the candidate's eyes, places a slipper upon his right foot, and subsequently places a rope, designated as a cable tow, once around his neck, allowing it to drag behind. The figure depicts the candidate duly and truly prepared for the first degree in Masonry. The junior deacon now takes the candidate by the arm, conducts him to the door of the lodge, and raps 3 distinct times. The senior deacon, from within, rises to his feet, executes the sign of an entered apprentice to the master, and speaks. Senior Deacon: Worshipful Master, there is an alarm at the inner door of our lodge. Worshipful Master: You will attend to the alarm and ascertain the cause thereof. Senior Deacon: Who approaches? Junior Deacon: Mr. Peter Gabe, who has long dwelt in darkness and now seeks to be brought to light, and to receive a portion in the rights and benefits of this worshipful lodge, erected to God and dedicated to the holy saints John, as all brothers and fellows have done before. Senior Deacon: Mr. Gabe, is this of your own free will and accord? Mr. G: It is. Senior Deacon: Brother Junior Deacon, is he worthy and well qualified? Junior Deacon: He is. Senior Deacon: Duly and truly prepared? Junior Deacon: He is. Senior Deacon: Of lawful age and properly vouched for? Junior Deacon: He is. Senior Deacon: By what further right or benefit does he expect to gain admission? Junior Deacon: By being a man, freeborn, of good repute and well recommended. Senior Deacon: Is he such? Junior Deacon: He is. Senior Deacon: Since he possesses all these necessary qualifications, you will wait with patience until the worshipful master is informed of his request and his answer returned. The deacon closes the door and repairs to the altar before the worshipful master. He raps once upon the floor with his rod, which is answered by the master with his gavel. The same colloquy ensues as occurred at the door, and the master says, "Worshipful master, let him enter and be received in due form." The senior deacon takes the compasses from the altar, repairs to the door, opens it, and says, "Senior deacon, let him enter and be received in due form." The senior deacon steps back, while the junior deacon, accompanied by the candidate, enters the lodge, followed by the 2 stewards. As they advance, they are halted by the senior deacon, who presents one point of the compasses to the candidate's naked left breast and says, "Senior Deacon, Mr. Gabe, upon entering this lodge for the first time, I receive you on the point of a sharp instrument pressing your naked left breast. This is to teach you that, as this is a torture to your flesh, so should the recollection thereof ever be to your mind and conscience, should you attempt to reveal the secrets of Masonry unlawfully. The junior deacon now leaves the candidate in the charge of the senior deacon and takes his seat at the right hand of the senior warden in the west. The senior deacon, followed by the two stewards, proceeds to travel once regularly around the lodge room as follows. Do you want access to this and all the complete audiobooks on the channel, plus the ebook version? Click the link in the description or scan the QR code in the left corner of the screen to access our library, where you can listen to your favorite esoteric books without ad interruptions, lock your screen, or use other apps while the narration plays, and even download the ebook version to follow along as you listen. Listen on your computer via web browser, or download the app from the Play Store. After subscribing, you will receive an email with your login details, password, and step-by-step instructions on how to access the books through the Hotmart app.